Alex Reyes. I'm here with Drew Bisbee, the promoter of the Freedom Cup, one of the promoters, USA Sport Karate event, May 31st and 1st in Brunswick, Georgia. How you doing today, sir? Everything good?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Alex?
Awesome, man. Hey, I'm excited about this tournament because it's USA Sport Karate. I'm excited for a lot of things in it. USA Sport Karate has a new district, District 4, and it's in Georgia as well, right? So like that expansion of it is great because I've been with them from the beginning, and they do such a great event, and a lot of things here. There's world implications here. There's gonna be a great event. It's open to all ages, ranks, and styles out there. All right, so it's gonna be an awesome event. So Freedom Cup is the first event ever. You have a lot of experience. The other promoter is also Joey Harrison, a great guy. So tell me how this tournament came about.
Well, Joey and I have been friends and helped each other out over the past, I don't know, 10 plus years. I met him through competition, and we're both involved in the management and running of the U.S. martial arts team.
Yes.
And we've been talking about having a tournament for a very long time. And we held the World Martial Arts Game, or we hosted the World Martial Arts Games last summer, and with the help of the USA Sport Karate team, helped us put on the World Martial Arts Games, and they reached out to us and said, "Hey, we'd like to have an event in Georgia, which is where Joey's home school is," and so we've talked about it, and we came up. We thought that it was a good fit because the USA Sport Karate runs such a great organization, very organized, trained judges. Um, they get done with tournaments
Yes.
way quicker than a lot of people do. I mean, they've got a really good program put together. They
Yeah.
keep it simple and do a real good job. So we wanted to be a part of the USA Sport Karate just from what we've seen them do and what we've been involved with them. And so we partnered up with Jeremy and David Sklar. Um, and so we're hosting this event in June.
Wow, man, what a great collaboration with everything. It's perfect, right? It was awesome last year with the World Games, and it's awesome that they reached out to you and you guys are collaborating again and working together. And the Freedom Cup is gonna be an amazing event. For those of you that don't know, USA Sport Karate. There's actually it's a new district. It's District 4. I'm gonna kind of have the screen here real quick, as you can see right there on the right side. And yours is the first one, the Freedom Cup. And check out the lineup here, right? June 29, Kevin Walker, the third annual. He's part of now this tour as well. Then Ancient City in August, which is in St. Augustine, a beautiful area. And all
Yep.
these events are pretty close to each other. It's like North Florida and like kind of like southern part of Georgia, right? In a way. And then Georgia Open September 14th with Chris Walker. So that's awesome, man. I'm really pumped up about this, and I'm pretty sure people are excited up there as well, right? When now
Well,
you
the good thing about that too is the if you gain points in that district, it helps for the International Martial Arts Festival in October. So that those points in USA Sport Karate can go to help towards getting a seed at the International Martial Arts Festival,
there
which
you
I
go.
believe takes place in Daytona in October.
Yeah. The last weekend in October, it's a great event. The IMAF, wow, an awesome event. This year, it's in Daytona at the Ocean Center. Yeah, so you get points for that, as well. So you get points for your district, and you get points to qualify also for that. And then also the USA, the World Games. I mean, right? The tryouts for the US team. Tell us
So
more about
this
that.
Yeah, I'm the head coach of the U.S. martial arts team. That group competed at the World Martial Arts Games last summer in Daytona. Real successful event. The World Martial Arts Games are held every 2 years, and the next one is slated to be in 2025 in Dubai. So The U.S. team is now bringing in athletes to try out for that. And this event, the Freedom Cup, is an optional tryout for people if they want to get involved with the U.S. martial arts team. And it's not just the World Games, but there is a Continental Games supposed to take place this year in Mexico. I don't have all the final information on that. And there is a European martial arts games, which is taking place this summer as well. Wow. In England. So our athletes will be qualified to go to those events as well if Whoa. They wanted to get involved in that.
Wow, man.
That's so awesome. The U.S. team is growing, or our U.S. team is growing, and it's open to everybody regardless of rank or style. I know a lot of it, if you go to WKC and WKU, which are great events, and I've been involved in some of them. If you go to them, only black belts can compete. Yeah. So our U.S. team and the martial arts games are for all ranks and all styles. They even have breaking divisions and self-defense and all kinds of things. Now the Freedom Cup is not going to have all those different divisions. It's just the normal USA Sport Karate divisions.
Yeah, no, that's great. And Dubai, that right there is amazing for next year. That's cool, man. No, and that's growing too. It's just amazing. So let's go over the divisions that are at the Freedom Cup right now too. There's extreme and creative weapons. There's something pretty much for everybody. Traditional forms, extreme and creative forms, point fighting, and with point fighting, it's we'll talk about that right now. There's also traditional weapons, and then when it goes to the point fighting, man, double elimination, right? And like you said earlier, with USA Sport Karate, they run events fast. Right. And that's with double elimination. So some people would say before, double elimination, the tournament, it takes longer, but they proved that they could do it and run the tournament fast and efficiently, which they've been doing it for years now. Right. So that's a big thing that's going to happen up there now. And up there that's coming to Georgia is that double elimination sparring, which is awesome.
Well, they've got it all set up in the computer, so they just plug everything in, and it's really only a handful of extra fights when you do a double elimination. But it gives athletes, an opportunity to go and compete, not just fight one fight and be done. You at least get 2 fights, and if you do better, then you could have multiple fights, and you could lose your first fight and still fight your way back into the finals and win the overall division. So it's better for athletes who let's say you don't do forms or weapons, or maybe you just do one forms division, one fighting division. It gives you an opportunity to do a little bit more competition.
Yeah, more bang for your buck. And it's pretty cool, because it's not easy. Like if you lose your first fight, like the strategy with this is to win your first round, like win the first brackets, right? Because if you lose, you end up going into that side, and it gets tougher. You gotta fight your way through and then fight the guy that hasn't lost. And and I've seen it happen. So that's one of the cool things that I like about it. I've seen somebody lose their first fight for I don't know what reason, and then they come back and fight a bunch of times and win it all at the end, right? So that's pretty cool to see. That added value that I didn't expect to see from that. It's just people, losing and coming back and winning it all, and that's super cool to see. Open round, and so if you do win your first rounds, right? You just sit and wait at the top till they get to you, and then they got to beat you twice. So that's cool to see too, right? You got a chance to rest, and you see the fighters fight it out. So
yeah, and if you're a slow starter and you lose your first fight, you're not out.
Exactly. Yeah, and then they on top of that, they get to fight it in open rank, which is cool because it's all belts in the division. So for me, I love it because it has a lot of pros. Let's say you're a black belt, and you're in the division and you're fighting an orange belt. You know what I mean? There's the added pressure that helps you compete. Let's say you're on a national level, you got that pressure, right? Because you're supposed to beat a belt under you, right? But then they come at you, with a momentum maybe, and you got to prove that you're better than them. And then also the other way. For the underbelts, you're testing your skills. Like I remember being green belt, and I was ready for black belt, but I felt ready, and I was like, if I move up to black belt, I have to stay in black belt. and I ended up doing it. My brother said, "That's it. You're gonna do it. You're fighting black belt, and no matter what, you're gonna get better that way." But so this it gives it lets the underbelts have a taste of the next division, right? So let's say you're a beginner, you may fight an intermediate or an advanced, and you get way more experience like that as well too. So it gets you better at the same time. So I think that division gets people better. Whether you're a higher belt or a lower belt, I think that's a great division to progress, and you actually get better at from this tournament competition here, in my opinion. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of that. Now, it's in Brunswick, Georgia, Brunswick High School, and
which is a beautiful new high school, a new facility. It's great. It's huge. So I know we've all been to tournaments where it was in like a small high school. This has stadium seating on both sides.
Wow.
And there's actually a little partition, so the floor will be nice and clear. And that's another thing USA Sport Karate does.
Yeah.
Even coaches aren't allowed on the floor during the forms and weapons divisions. That way it keeps everything clear. If you are on the floor, that means you're out there for a division, or if you're on the floor, if you're a coach, that means there's fighting divisions. Another thing USA Sport Karate does is if you're going to wear a coach's shirt, and you have to wear a coach's shirt to sit in a coach's chair, you have to take their test so you know the rules as a coach, which I think is great. Those are all things moving the sport forward.
Yes, man. Yeah, it's true. You got to be certified to coach. You have to go to the class, and their classes are very interactive. Like they actually, have people fighting and have real scenarios. I've been to a few of those. And so, yeah.
You can also do it online where you won't go through the class, but you have to take the test.
Yeah.
And it gives you several options as far as, if you get a question wrong, you can go back and fix it. You have to get 100% on the test, but it's not hard to do.
Wow. No, but that's great. I mean, that to me is amazing. And like you said, like we were talking about earlier, certified judges, they have to go through training and classes as well and tests as well. Yep. So that's amazing. And that's great. The floor's going to be super clean. They already have it clean, right? The floor. So it's going to be even easier to keep it clean with the stadium seating, and the parents, spectators to get to watch down and have a view of all the rings, pretty much like that. So I love when it's like that, when the arenas are like that in the gyms. That's great. Now there's a seminars actually on Friday, and tell us more about that. I know it's going to be awesome. There's some big names, and tell us, is it going to be at the gym too, or somewhere else?
All right, so the seminars are going to be on Friday evening. I believe they start at 7 p.m. and they're going to be 3 30-minute seminars, and it's going to be like a round robin. They'll all be going on at the same time, and they will be at Joey Harrison's school there in Brunswick, and it's called The Brick in Brunswick, Georgia. And his facility is brand new. It's beautiful, and it's huge. So there's not going to be any problem with space for us to be there and have the seminar. The seminar is going to be myself teaching forms and weapons, and basically presentation and competition. The next person's going to be John Curatolo, who's a world champion, part of G3, the team Diamond G3. Been a competitor for years. He and I were compatriots on Full Circle, and our third person doing the seminar is Sam Diaz from Paul Mitchell. He's from Team Paul Mitchell. He's a great guy, great competitor, and has been blowing up the scene the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And we're just excited to have a couple of great names in there with me.
Hey, let me tell you, that's an awesome seminar. Now, for registration, they can register for that and for the tournament on the same link, usasportkarate.myuventex.com, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if the seminars are popular in there, because you guys are hearing it first, because we just got final on the names of the people who are going to be doing it. So I'm not sure if it's populated into the registration yet, but it's supposed to be populated, I would assume, the next day or two.
There you go.
So people will be able to go and sign up for those seminars. And you'll you'll get an opportunity to do one with each of us in the seminar. And also, when you go to register, if you register for the tournament, I'm talking about the seminar, but if you register for the tournament before May 18th, you can see it on the paper over there. It's $65 for 2 events, which is unheard of nowadays. You can't compete at a tournament for 1 event for $65, much less 2 events. And I think it's $15 for each additional one. Now, after May 18th, it's going to jump, I think, $15 per division.
Yeah,
that gets people to go ahead and sign up and get going earlier.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and register. You know, you can go to usasportkarate.myuventex.com directly there. They have a lot of information there. You know, you can get other tournaments. I think they even have rules and standings right there in that website as well.
Yeah, and you can reach out to me if you have any questions about it, or Joey Harrison. We're both on Facebook. You can reach us through Messenger. Yes. Or call our phone numbers, which are on the bottom of that.
Yeah, they're right here on the screen. Yeah, the phone numbers are right here. It's also Point Fighter approved. We're going to get a power ring out there to give out to a winner. We'll interview a winner on the show as a guest, probably with Isabella Carac on the Power Chat series. And, you know, it's going to be an awesome event, man. Wow. Now, as far as anybody that's coming out from out of town, Brunswick is kind of like, you were telling me, it's like in southeast Georgia earlier. It's like an hour away from Jacksonville, so there's a lot of hotels in the area as well.
There sure are. It's right on I-95, about an hour north of Jacksonville. It's right near St. Simon's Island, Georgia, and Jekyll Island, Georgia. If you've ever been to those areas, they're beautiful. You could stay on Jekyll Island or St. Simon's Island if you wanted to, right there at the beach, or you can stay in Brunswick. Very affordable hotels, probably cheaper than normal. And then the tournament's right there in Brunswick. It's not a huge town, but it's not a tiny little town. There's all the amenities there, all the restaurants and whatnot are there.
Awesome, man. It's gonna be a great event, man. I'm super pumped up about this one, and just USA Sport Karate growing. You guys are just a collaboration, great people. It's gonna be a great tournament. You guys don't want to miss it. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. May 31st and June 1st. Anything else that you want to add that we didn't talk about? Or anything?
Well, what we are doing for our for the U.S. martial arts team members, we're having a special get together on that Sunday afterwards for a special team training and an open tryout. If you didn't get an opportunity to get in front of somebody at the tournament, you could come to that tryout. There's going to be some fellowship. We'll have lunch together, and it'll just be a great event. That's one thing that I learned, and I know you have with the teams you've been involved in, even the smaller teams. You want to have that kind of fellowship and camaraderie and support, and that's really what we're trying to foster with the U.S. team. It's not just you go and qualify at a tournament and become a member, and then you show up at a tournament and then you go home. There's more involved. We want to have that support structure. So the U.S. team, I know this isn't part of the tournament, but it's the day after at Joey's facility again.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great weekend right there for sure. You know, sport karate on top of sport karate is going to be awesome. Hey, we forgot one thing too. I think you said grand champions or certain people are going to get a cup, right? The Freedom Cup. Right.
Yeah, so for our adult black belt winners, we're going to have a Freedom Cup. I believe there's 4 of them, one for each of the men and women fighting, and then one for the weapons and one for the forms. And then there'll probably be a smaller version of that for the other grand champion winners. So we're just trying to, you can see behind me, I've got some of my favorite awards that I've won, and there's some really cool ones back there, and some of them weren't from huge tournaments, so I really they're just cool looking, so we're trying to kind of throw some of that our competitors' way.
Awesome, man. I love it, man. I love it. It's gonna be great. Don't miss it. It's the first event of the new District 4 USA Sport Karate Tour, and it's awesome. All right, thanks for joining us today. Make sure you guys make plans now. Go to usasportkarate.myuventex.com. Register by May 18 to save. Early bird special. All right. Thanks for joining me today, sir. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Power baby us.